When it's time for an adventure on the open highway, one quick call to American Family Insurance gets you headed in the right direction. Our travel peace of mind package is there if you encounter a bump in the road. From roadside assistance to rental car coverage, we have you covered. Find a local agent or get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Someone made a list of movies that are good, but are a bit of a tough watch, and therefore they think you only need to see these once. And we've got some of the highlights of this list that was made. And I thought, okay, this was just going to be one of the great movies, and but you only need to watch them once. But actually, this really, I think, is an accurate list as far as.
So you actually agree with the list?
Wow.
What the hell is going on with you today, BJ?
Yeah, because it is exactly what they're saying. Is like they're good movies, but man, because they're a tough watch, you only need to see them once. And I would have to agree with it, because as I look at the movies that I've seen on this list, I have only seen them once. And then the other movies, I know they're good. And Steve, you and I have talked about like when we know there are good movies, but we just go, do we really want to watch them? We know they're going to be serious.
Yeah, like The Joker is the one I always joke about, mainly just to troll our friend Caesar, because he keeps asking me to watch it, and I keep saying, oh yeah, I'll get around to it, totally going to do it. When I got my new TV, he's like, it's going to look good on that new TV, The Joker. I mean, now it's gotten to the point where I'll never see it, just so I troll my friend. But also because I just hear it's such a heavy watch, and I know everyone says it's amazing, but you just got to be in the right mindset for it. Otherwise, you're just going to be in a bummer mood. And I'm like, I don't really watch movies to be put in a bummer mood. I just want to watch Liam Neeson save people, kids, family, whoever it is.
Puppies.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever he's got to save.
Sometimes it involves both kids and puppies, like the marksman.
Yeah, there. See that? That's a real. He's got a certain set of skills.
Right. It's like, what if Liam Neeson also becomes John Wick?
Yeah, but John Wick didn't save his dog. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, I don't want to spoil the marksman either.
Yeah,
but
sorry about that. Yeah. So here's the list, and yes, I would say that these are definitely good movies. And one time is enough. The number one on the list is A Clockwork Orange from back in 1971.
Never seen it.
Really?
Yeah. And I can't blame you, because I feel like it was a huge movie at the time, and maybe even 20 years later, people might be going, sure, let's still watch it. But it is tough. It is. Malcolm McDowell, we've seen him in a lot of things, but he was a young dude in this, and it is, it initially received an X rating in the U.S. because of the really horrific aversion therapy scenes, which are very, very difficult to watch.
Yeah, I know a lot about it. I heard people reference it. A lot of people talk about it. I know that iconic cover for the VHS tape or the DVD.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I can picture all that stuff, but it's never been a movie that's made me want to sit down and watch it.
It's a really good movie, but I've watched it multiple times when I was younger, like in my 20s, because there's a lot of just like shock value added to it.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to watch as I get older. It's just one of those ones that I haven't come back and watched in at least a decade.
I'm surprised number one's not Babysitters 2, because I've had a tough time.
Oh, yeah, you can't go back. Oh, yeah,
really?
just one time? Oh, yeah, well, that could be another reason.
I don't think it's on the list, but I was wondering, remember Blair Witch Project? Like that movie, I thought it was amazing when I first saw it. And even though I knew that it wasn't what some people were thinking it might be, like, was it real, was it not? But it was so much fun to watch. And I tried to sit down and watch it again because I'm like, man, that was such a good movie. I want to go watch it again. And I made it like through like half of the film. I'm like, it doesn't really have the same feeling now that I know exactly. It's like The Sixth Sense.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
those movies where you like,
Well, because you know what's up now.
right. So it's just like this movie's not as much fun now that I know everything that's going on.
That's the beauty of a movie, that takes you on an adventure that's mysterious, but then you know what's going on, and
Right.
you're like, yeah, it doesn't. Now, maybe you want to go back right away and see if you can catch all the signs of it, sure. But then after that, what do you got? 2-3 watches in you, and you're like, yeah, at most.
Or you
But,
want to
yeah.
watch it with a friend because you want to see their reaction while you know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
That's
yeah.
Get your own reaction video right in front of you.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the list. I've never seen this movie, and it's with the description they give me, I don't think I ever do. It was back in 1972, a movie called Pink Flamingos.
Is that a John Waters film?
Yes.
Yes, I remember that
Yeah,
movie, dude.
yeah.
It's just one of those movies that cements that John Waters is a very eccentric, different kind of dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's eating of things.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
that you just don't need to
pig's
ever watch
face
again.
and dog's feces. I don't need that.
Well, that was fun. That part is the problem.
Oh, that was the fun part. Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
the pig's face. No, I'm
You're
kidding.
right. Yeah. Of course, this
People are
one
obsessed
was.
with that movie, though, man. That's like a cult classic.
Oh yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never even watched it because I just have heard. No way, I don't. I'm just like
Yeah.
I don't have a desire to sit down and experience what people have told me.
I've never even heard of this. Like I
Really?
recognize the person on the cover, but
Is that Divine?
yeah,
Yeah.
Because, especially because I think she's painted on one of the houses here in Seattle with Betty Page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And she was the inspiration for Ursula.
Oh,
in
that's
The Little
right.
Mermaid.
Oh,
but
damn, you're right.
I had no idea.
But yeah, Ursula didn't need anything weird.
No, she didn't.
So far, what, I'm 0 for 2 on these movies.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I know,
Well,
right? I wonder if
remember-
I've seen any of these movies, Rev.
Probably. I can't imagine you have. Number 3 is iconic. There's the iconic line. You got a purty mouth, boy.
Oh, dear.
Babysitters 2.
You gotta. This is a different version. Deliverance, where Ned Beatty was made famous in that, and it was yeah.
That's the only thing anybody ever remembers from that movie.
Yeah,
I'm 0 for 3.
I never saw Deliverance. Again, I was 12 when it came out, and by the time I was old enough where maybe I could want to see it or be old enough to see it or mature enough to see it, I was like, no, you know what? By that time, I'm into Star Wars. Thank you. I'll watch Luke.
I only know that Burt Reynolds is in it, and I know that because they mention it a lot on the show Archer. Like, that's the only reason I know what this is.
I honestly thought Deliverance was like, it wasn't as old of a movie as it is. I thought maybe it was made like in the 80s or like even the early 90s. I did not know it was in a 70s film.
Yeah.
Just shows how much I knew about that movie.
Well, speaking of the early 90s, number 4 on the list is one that I've seen, and it won an Academy Award, and it was an amazing picture, and I never want to see it again because of the subject matter. And, when you're really exploring a history of humanity where it shows humanity not really being cool to other humans, it is painful to watch. And that's
Throw Mama from the Train.
Throw Mama from the Train. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's not the one.
Not quite.
Schindler's List, which is...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's got your boy Liam, though. Liam Neeson's in it. I mean,
0
you
for
figure-
4 so far, though.
Yeah.
I think we had to watch it in like high school.
And he's being a hero.
Really?
I believe he's being, because Schindler's List was, I believe it was like the people that he saved, right? I'm trying to remember. I think that's what it was about. It's been a long time
I know
since
it's
I've
a
seen
great
it.
movie, and it's one of those ones, again, I don't really want to watch something that's going to bum me out.
Am I right about that, Rev?
Yeah,
I think
you
he was
are.
a good guy.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
Oscar Schindler who had
Yeah.
the list to get people out. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, it was obvious. I mean, a great character, a great human being in the midst of a horrific time. But again, it's and just like this number 5 movie, American History X. It's a fantastic movie. But man, that curb stomping scene. Yeah,
It messes you up.
Yeah, and it's just like you don't want to think that humans are this way to other humans, but it's in our history, and it really is just it's tough to watch more than once. It's tough to watch once.
0 for 5.
0 for 5.
Really?
Yeah, haven't seen that one either. How about this one? Someone texted in Human Centipede. Does that make the list? No.
jeez.
No, that's
that's
a classic. That's a rewatch. Every
You got to
weekend.
watch that every day.
That's right up there with 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Both cinematic masterpieces.
There's a look. There's a pattern here. Okay, all of these movies pretty much have a pattern. It's
Heavy.
Yeah, it's
They're all heavy.
It's showing humans in a very, very bad way.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are good humans in the midst of all that, but for the most part, it's like humans being the worst part of human history, really. Like Hotel Rwanda back in 2004. we get to, look at the horrors of genocide. And again, humans just being horrific to other humans. A well done movie, but
0 for 6.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry,
Come
buddy.
on. I got to have seen one of these
At
movies.
least one. Come on, Steve.
No, how about 127 Hours? That's the one.
Saw it.
You did? All right. There
In
you
the
go.
theaters,
Woo!
too.
Yeah.
That one was a rough one, too.
That was an awesome movie, though, but I've never watched it again.
Nope.
No, I haven't either.
I saw people leaving the theater during the arm cutting scene.
Yeah.
Because it's about that guy, the true story, based on a guy that got caught somewhere
Hiking, yeah.
hiking and got stuck in between some stuff and had to cut his own arm off to get free. And dude, you would think, how can you make a whole movie out of that? But James Franco, I think that was such a great performance by him. It was basically just him.
Yeah.
And losing his mind and just. It was a really fascinating watch, but yeah, totally with them. All right, finally, I'm 1 for 7.
Now there's a recent one here, and that's The Revenant, the one with Leo DiCaprio, where there's a bear attack. Remember
1
that
for
movie?
8.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Isn't that where the bear has his way? Like,
Yeah.
gets a little randy with him.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't wanted to watch that. 12 Years a Slave back in 2013, which I also heard is a terrific movie, but I just can't bring myself to watch it because, again, it is not, it's just not a portrayal of humanity at its best.
1 for 9.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. And then I don't know what City of God, that's number 10 on the list. I don't know. 2002 movie. I don't know what that's about.
I have no idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
so clearly 1 for 10.
Yeah.
Someone said I just watched American History X for the first time last week, and I agree. It should be on this list. It was really good, but I'll probably never watch it again.
Yeah.
And that's the list of good movies that you probably should only watch one time.
Damn, someone said Rocky 3. I've watched Rocky 3 multiple times, but I guess
Which one was Rocky 3?
You're a
that's with
masochist.
Mr. T, Clever Lang.
Yeah.
Pain. I pity.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
pity
where
the
you
fool
came
that has to
from.
watch that movie more than once.
Spoiler alert. What are you talking about, dude? Don't even joke. That's not funny.
Don't even
Oh,
joke.
don't even
That's
joke.
a line
That's
I can't let you cross.
Oh, you're
man.
cutting him to the core right there.
wow.
Man, you need to
Okay,
rethink your jokes when you're taking shots at Rocky 3.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll be more sensitive next time.
It's such a powerful piece when you think about like Rocky got caught up in the lavish lifestyle of being a celebrity and then didn't take Clever Lang very serious. And then next thing you know, got knocked on his ass and Mickey, spoiler, dead. Then I had to turn around and get back to the
dead,
roots.
Rock.
I'm dead, Rock. I craft thunder.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It was a masterpiece. I don't know what I was thinking.
It was. I'm glad you agree.
Oh, yeah.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. A Canadian man rollerbladed 6,200 miles across the country to raise awareness of bee conservation, and in doing so, ended up breaking a Guinness World Record. His name is Zach Chaboter, and here he is. Here's Mr. Chaboter telling you all about it.
I'm rollerblading from coast to coast, all the way across Canada, baby. Why, you ask? For the bees, baby. Without them, we couldn't eat all the foods we like to eat, and we couldn't live the life that we like to live. Not only do they pollinate 1 in every 3 bites of food that we eat, but they're a huge part of the global economy. Once again, for
When it's time for an adventure on the open highway, one quick call to American Family Insurance gets you headed in the right direction. Our travel peace of mind package is there if you encounter a bump in the road. From roadside assistance to rental car coverage, we have you covered. Find a local agent or get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
the bees, baby.
For the bees.
It just proves that the BC Bud is some of the best Bud out there.
Yeah,
He's a Whistler guy, apparently.
yeah,
I was like, okay, what part of Canada is this dude from? Of course, British Columbia.
yeah.
You know what it is? He saw that video of the girl who made friends with the bumblebee the other day that we
That's
talked
what it
about.
is.
And he's just like, got to save the bees because if the bees are that cool.
Also watched My Girl and realized, maybe I need to be cooler to the bees.
Wow.
I don't even know what we're doing to hurt the bees. That's the thing. I definitely want. He's right. We need bees in order to keep our lives going. I just don't know what we're doing to hurt them. Like is it me individually or what's happening? Anybody know?
Some people I know in the vegan world, they won't mess with that honey sometimes because bees were kind of quote unquote forced to make the honey. So they were put in a situation where they weren't like doing what they're supposed. I know they pollinate and they do all that kind of stuff, but when you're getting all of them to do it like on your own time, I guess it's something about that's not right. I don't know. I'm not vegan, but
they don't like. I've had a few friends explain this to me, and the way they explained it was that they don't want to do anything that profits off animals' labor, even if it's something they do naturally. So they won't wear wool, even though it's just being sheared. It's not. You're not.
So
Your animal's not being hurt. They just don't want any animal products.
I don't know.
So wait, is that why he's going? Because we're making the bees work? Is that why he's rollerblading?
Bees are dying because of pesticides, drought, habitat destruction.
Oh, there we go. That was
pollution.
Newspaper rolls smacking them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You only do that with the yellow jackets, not bees.
So wait, if all those things are true, what you're saying, it feels like then, the way we stop that stuff has probably already been talked about and people don't want to do stuff to stop that.
Or do you think he had a bet with his buddies and he's like, I'll cross country rollerblade, and they're like, well, what should we do it for? And he just thought it'd be funny to say he's doing it for bee conservation. He really doesn't even know.
Oh yeah, you know what?
He got really stoned and came up with an idea.
Yeah, he had a couple of good talking points, but I suppose if we pushed him, we probably would have seen it was all a farce.
Yeah, he calls it Blading for Bees, though. He has a Facebook page. It's a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
I should click on the about. Maybe I'll learn a little bit more about why he's doing it, BJ.
Oh, well, if he's got a web page, he probably has more good information on there. I mean, again, to keep up the pretense that this was not just a dumb bet.
All it says is educating all about bees and the environment, breaking a Guinness World Record of rollerblading 9,000 kilometers.
But is there anything on there? I mean, how's he educating the environment if he's not really saying much? I mean, except, all right.
All right, now we'll go to his website. So you got to do a lot of digging to get the answer sometimes. It says people need bees. They balance our natural ecosystems, and they're a vital part of our economy. They affect us all and are responsible for 1 in 3 bites of food that we eat. So doing this skating is what I'm willing to do to show people how important these incredible creatures are.
Does he tell us what we can do to stop, being mean to the bees, apparently? That's what I want to know. It's like, I get it, dude. You've convinced me, but what can I do? But it looks like, if it's pesticides, I don't use pesticides, so I guess I'm doing okay in that department.
They're just encouraging people to become climate activists.
Oh, there we go. That's the thing, because Vicky talked about temperature being a problem, the droughts and all that and that. Well, that's another conversation that people don't like to have, Steve. We'll steer clear of that conversation.
Blading for bees.
Yeah.
That's a lot of miles to rollerblade. I did 7 miles the other day, and my ankles were hurting.
Oh, that's right. You got rollerblades again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a lot on rollers. You have to have strong ankles. I would have both my ankles wrecked in probably 5 seconds.
And strong hips. My hips.
I feel like your ankles. I think your ankles will be okay because of the support of the boot.
Yeah.
But I'm still standing on you know what I mean? I don't have the whole bottom of my foot to support me. I feel, so I feel like I'd be real wobbly. Yeah. I mean, is there anything like blades on ice skating blades? Is it similar?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm a mess.
Just as far as you got this thin thing in the middle of your foot,
Oh yeah, I go down every time. Oh yeah,
as far as balance, I feel like you could balance better on rollerblades. I'm not saying that you could skate well, but you could actually you would have a little bit more stable. You'd be more stable because you're not kind of drifting.
I agree. And then also on ice, I feel like there's a lot of divots that you could really get into with the blade as opposed to when you're rollerblading. If it's a smooth surface, you won't fall.
The worst is when I'm ice skating. If I ice skate for a couple of hours, if I'm playing hockey for a couple of hours, my feet are just wrecked. I'm just okay, got to get these skates off because if I play 2 games back to back. But the worst is when you do hit that little, because you don't see it on the ice. Right. So I'm shuffling from one side to the other while I'm playing goalie, and I hit that little a divot or some kind of crack or whatever it is in the ice. And then I'm all of a sudden tipping over, and it just, to the eyes of everybody else, it just looks like I'm drunk.
Yep.
If you play, okay, you hit something. But if you're just watching, or if you're just casually walking by and you just see a random person just bite it, you're like, why are they letting these drunk people on the ice? And it's no, there's just sometimes little landmines that you don't expect.
But again, with your team, the Donkeys, it could be true that they really shouldn't let these drunk people on the ice.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd say 90% of the time you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about lunch hockey, not donkey hockey.
Oh,
at lunchtime I'm not drinking and playing hockey.
Oh, all right. Well, at least you're responsible.
Right. If I'm in Spokane playing hockey, I'm definitely not sober.
So someone on Reddit went on and asked, hey, doctors, can you tell us the dumbest things that you've heard from your patients who decided to be their own doctor? And, I love people that diagnose themselves and therefore don't, and think they know what's up. I love that.
No, my wife always, whenever she comes home and I seem slightly panicked about something and I tell her why, she's like, were you on WebMD? I'm like, yes. She's like, stop going on that thing. Right? I'm like, well, I have foot cancer. I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, I mean, they know
Turns
you.
out I had a wart.
Or you stubbed your toe?
Or I had a wart.
Or a wart. Wart can look like foot cancer, especially if WebMD wants you to stay there and just keep clicking.
Look up wart on the bottom of your foot, and it's going to tell you have foot cancer. No, everyone's doing it.
Yeah, don't even. Yeah, don't.
Or a bump on the bottom of your foot, because I didn't know it was a wart at the time.
This guy showed up to the ER with a minor cut, and there was a red powder all over his hand. And they're like, "What the hell is this?" And it turned out he put paprika on his hand to stop the bleeding.
Okay, I can understand that. Can I cauterize it or something? Maybe, I don't know.
With paprika?
Well, anything powdery. I guess you just desperate times call for desperate measures.
So as a kid, I had ferrets, and we were told that if you cut its fingernails too much, it'll start bleeding. And the way to stop it is to put it in cornstarch or flour.
Oh, I heard soap. Like a bar of soap, you just kind of scrape it against there, and then that would help too.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he thought, well, I don't got any flour or any of that. I'm just going to use paprika.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's good to be put inside your skin in sensitive areas.
When you Google, does paprika stop bleeding, you get a whole bunch of web pages that look like a mommy blog saying, yeah, it can stop bleeding within 15 seconds.
Are you serious?
Yeah. From Renee's Ravishing Recipes and healthfacts.blogspot.com.
I go to that website every day.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could give it some love.
See, this is the problem. I mean, I'm assuming that the doctor thinks this is dumb. Of course, this is on Reddit, so I don't know. But when a doctor says that's a dumb thing to do, I believe then, okay, you shouldn't do it. But now you go, Rev does a search. That's why you can't trust the internet. Who do you believe?
A doctor or the wife and mother of 4 adult children and a grandmother of 6 who loves reading and studying the Bible, spirit of prophecy, and listening to sermens.
Did she graduate high school? If she did, then I'm following her.
This does not say whether she has or not.
Oh.
Yeah. It is funny then when people put down a long list of credentials that make them look like they might be a somebody, but you realize that it's just a long list of nothing. It's like, I did this and I did that and I spent time doing it. It's like, yeah, but you weren't in a school doing any of this and you don't have a degree. I don't know why I should listen to you about this subject.
The internet, that's why.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the doctor, not the mom that what is she? She's really good at choir. I forget what the hell she already is good at.
Oh yeah, she listens to sermons, man.
Oh, that's what it is. All right. This one lady called her doctor to ask if her hemorrhoid cream would still work on vacation. Now, I have to give her credit because she read it, and she's taking the instructions literally because it says you're only supposed to apply hemorrhoid cream locally.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Is this that
local,
Washington hemorrhoid cream, or do I need to go to Hawaii and get the Hawaiian hemorrhoid cream?
I got to get the Hawaii hemorrhoid cream.
Yeah, get the good stuff, the pineapple-flavored stuff.
It's the air quality. It affects the roids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know what? I could see myself making that mistake, so I'm not going to throw stones at that.
Wouldn't you Google what it means before you call a doctor?
Well, what? Am I going to find out from the choir lady? What is she going to tell me? Use paprika instead of hemorrhoid cream.
I mean, I bet if you just Google what does locally mean with hemorrhoid cream, it would probably tell you or something.
You're probably right. Someone had a cut that was seriously infected, and it turned out they rubbed dirt in it. Well, they used to tell you rub dirt in it and take a lap. Because, they thought it would stimulate their immune response. That's not true because that rub dirt and take a lap is always a thing.
Yeah, but I never thought to do it. No. It's just like a dumb saying.
It's just basically like get over it, move on.
Well, I think at some point somebody did rub dirt in it and take a lap. I mean, I think that was otherwise, where does that phrase come from?
Well, like if I was cutting onions and I cut my finger, I'm going to go outside, rub some dirt, and run around my house a couple times and be like, good to go.
It was basically parents back in the day not wanting to handle the kids. It's like, stop crying, get the hell out of here, go do something else, leave me alone.
I feel like it's in the sports world is where that came up.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Rub dirt and take a lap. I always thought that meant that that helped.
I mean, I always look at you're running around outside, you skin your knee or you scrape your knee, and they're like, rub some dirt on it, you're fine.
Yeah,
it's basically meaning it's nothing dangerous. You're nothing bad's going to happen. You're fine.
And I thought the dirt did something. I mean, it's like why would you tell someone?
I just thought it would make it dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't really know. I get unless it made you even more of a man. Rub dirt in it, you baby.
Hey, how about a lot of people are texting and saying cayenne pepper works great on deep cuts. It cauterizes and does not burn. Another one, cayenne for cuts. That's what we did in catering. Then slap a Band-Aid on it and a glove or two and keep cooking.
Well, now is paprika the same thing?
No.
Cayenne pepper is a different thing.
No, I think it's a completely different thing. But sometimes you don't have all the items that you need in the cupboards, and so you just go with the next best thing.
All right, paprika's close enough. I guess I'll try this. A doctor mentioned that his back was hurting, and the person he was talking to immediately diagnosed him with spine cancer. So, like, somebody went on, I guess somebody just basically they didn't know he was a doctor and said, "Oh yeah, from your symptoms, you have spine cancer, sir." Wow. His name was probably Steve Miggs after getting his own foot cancer diagnosis.
Well, if you look hard enough, you'll find it.
Yeah, this one here, I think we need to get out there because there are people that do this who drink their own pee. I mean, I've known there's
I knew someone that did
online.
it for Radiohead tickets once.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he got them, so it worked.
Oh, congrats. There's a guy in Albuquerque.
What's up, Marcus?
There's a guy in Albuquerque that used to do a public access show where he would have a cup of it and just drink it and talk.
What's the start each episode?
Yeah, the whole episode. He would just have different cups of it, and he would talk about like the health benefits of drinking your own pee.
Well, so how many episodes does he need to do of this?
Oh, a lot. He was on the air for a long time. His name's Don.
I mean, Seattle had some weird public access shows. Nothing as weird as that.
No,
and we
not
even
that
had
one.
the guy that was convinced that the Kurt Cobain was murdered guy, and then got his Kring. They did some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
the Bong Hit Championships guy. That guy was awesome.
He was.
None of them were drinking their own urine, though.
Yeah. Well,
it turns out it may not be a good idea. This woman was drinking it. The only thing she would drink was her own pee. She ended up in the hospital with a lot of kidney issues.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, I never worried about
internet.
the effects of drinking my own urine because I never planned on drinking my own urine. So it was like one of those things where I'm like, I don't need the information on why it's bad because I'll never do it.
Yeah, there were people out there saying, no, you should do it. That's why I'm glad to see that somebody finally said, no, don't do that.
It makes sense because you're basically expelling all the stuff your body doesn't want or need. So why would you put that back in your body? It'd be like throwing away something and then being like, I'm going to bring it back into my
It's
house.
called recycling. We encourage that.
Come on.
Yeah, but there's some things that aren't recyclable, like your pee.
This last one is insane. I cannot believe that somebody really, you talk about me feeling dumb about the locally. There was a baby that had a really bad diaper rash, and that's because the mom had been pouring water into new diapers before putting them on the kid. So basically, the diaper was all wet, and the kid had it against their skin.
Why would you even do something like that?
And the reason is just nuts. She thought that's what you were supposed to do because diaper ads are always showing people pouring liquids in them, which, of course, is to show you how absorbent they are, but not that's what you should do with them. And she thought that was what you're supposed to do with them.
Well, I mean, I feel bad for that kid. They're going to have a stupid parent for the rest of their life.
Well, yeah. I think I got to watch that kid because obviously they're going to have the same brain power. So,
what if that kid becomes a genius because they just don't want to be like their mom?
I hope so because mom doesn't seem to have. Oh, wow. But, I can sit there and throw stones, but I guess if that's what you see on TV and then all of a sudden you probably, okay, I guess we're supposed to water these down before we put them on. I guess I don't know.
I mean, there's no part of I don't understand how someone's brain would even jump to that conclusion.
Well, that's because you're not a moron, sir.
Thanks, BJ. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
When it's time for an adventure on the open highway, one quick call to American Family Insurance gets you headed in the right direction. Our travel peace of mind package is there if you encounter a bump in the road. From roadside assistance to rental car coverage, we have you covered. Find a local agent or get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.